But I've listened to a couple of your speeches, and I thought, I can't find anything wrong with you. Let's put it that way.
That works for me. I had been listening to the situation, and where it happened, I talked about government overreaching of another video. And because I came out in support of you initially, before you were interviewed by Jason Patrick, who works on my campaign as a volunteer. As a matter of fact, everybody on my campaign is a volunteer. Nobody gets paid. Okay. We've been running our campaign strictly just volunteers, people that believe in liberty and freedom. So for us, liberty and freedom is in moral peril in this country, and there just aren't enough people that understand it. And so Jason recorded a video, and the press did what they always do. They took it up and tried to character assassinate you, to discredit what lies underneath what's actually taking place: government overreach and the mistreatment of its citizens. And of course, first thing Jason did there, here's the whole video. Listen to the whole video, because somebody came at me. Well, now what do you think about your guy now that you was supporting? So I listened to the video, and they asked me, what do you think about it now? I said, same thing. What y'all did with the video, that was improper, it was wrong, and it's not even the point. So I said, you know what, rather than a Facebook post, I did a video. And of course you saw that video has over 75,000 hits. And Mr. Bundy, it's not so much about you and I. What it's more about is how the press is used as a fourth arm of the government to discredit people that have legitimate gripe with the government, and they stand up and say no. Now, I just got, people have been sending me information, and you can verify this, but somebody just told me, and see, I keep telling people what the press and the politicians don't want us to know about under the table is what Harry Reid and his son has got going on. That's point number one. Point number two, everybody keeps wanting to jump back to the issue about the fees, and I said, if the fees were that important, it wouldn't have taken 20 years. How many of you have ever owed the IRS $1,000? Okay, it didn't go 20 years. So
let me stop you here. Mm-hmm. So to me, the racial thing, that's not important to me. The fees thing's not important to me. What's important to me is we have a nation, and not only a nation, but a world full of people that don't have their liberties and freedoms and their exercise their conscience, and then we have. I mean, that's really our concern when it comes to we the people of the world. When you have what's happening here in Nevada is we don't have sovereignty, state sovereignty, and that's guaranteed by our Constitution, so we don't have state sovereignty. Then probably the next thing is really important is America's been dumbed down so bad that they don't even understand the Constitution. And the Constitution is the document that gives us our freedom and liberties and our sovereignty. And they don't, most people can't even understand how it all fits. But when I hear you say, I stand for the Constitution, and I believe in the Constitution, that's what I stand for, and that's what I'm going to always stand for. So that's what I stand for. And those people, and then when we get into these battles and all these different things, I said, no, the Constitution, those people already fought those battles for us. We just got to start paying attention to what they did for us and start acting like, in other words, acting like we're a sovereign state, and acting like we have some freedoms and liberties, and act like that we are agents of ourselves. And all those things are guaranteed to us by the Constitution. We don't really need to be worried about what Harry's doing or whether racist or any of those things. That's not our problem. Our problem is just coming down and getting the individual to be important again.
See, but here's a $64,000 question. Or I'm gonna say the $64,000 problem. You get it. I get it. Everybody in this room get it. The problem is, unless you talk to folk about low-hanging fruit stuff, they're not going to get or understand where we are because they have been dumbed down. Everything that you said in your video, when you were talking about black people and the condition of blacks today, it is nothing more than what I have not said myself over the last 8 years, because when I first started doing videos, those are the things that I talked about. Here's an example of low-hanging fruit. Okay, Mr. Bundy owes the fees, but the federal government does not have the legal constitutional right to come and take his property without following the judicial process. It's called due process. They should have gone to state court before they laid hand on any cow. So that's low-hanging fruit. Even the simplest of minds can understand that. You want to come get his cows, but you send armed goons? Even the simplest of minds can understand that. When I talk about these armed goons, how many times have you ever seen police handcuff people that are unarmed and start to pepper spray them because they're unarmed? There were volunteers here that were armed. Nobody was getting pepper sprayed. Nobody was getting beat up when they saw that people were willing to stand up and say no. That's low-hanging fruit. My goal and how I have been reaching people to get them to see that, and I've said just what you said, the battle has already been fought for. It's already been paid for with blood. We got the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and the Bill of Rights. That work has been done, but if we don't stop the government from circumventing our liberties and freedoms with executive orders and house rules and things of that nature, the documents will become worthless and people will then have to start shedding blood again to get it back. That's why I'm supporting you. I'm supporting you as a fellow American, that I can see the low-hanging fruit. They want you to sign a deal with them. They want you to, well, you pay us the fees, you sign this agreement, and then on top of that, reduce the number of cows you have from 900 to 150. That don't sound like the government that I recognize. There's something wrong with that.
I'm saying, but here's where I come from. Even I go back to the Constitution, and I say, United States government, show me where you can own land. I mean, that's simple. And then I go to the Constitution and I said, isn't the state of Nevada a sovereign state? Didn't it have equal footing with the original 13 states? So then I go to down to the court, United States Nevada District Court, and I say, this court, this is a sovereign state with Nevada laws, with Nevada public land, with Nevada Clark County sheriffs, and I have no contract with you, federal government. So how are you tying me to this court? This is a foreign court. I abide by all of the rules and laws of the state of Nevada, and if you're gonna, and you hit right on. If you're going to try me for something, then you're going to have to try me in a Nevada court of competent jurisdiction. Because that would be the court that would have a jurisdiction over my property and my rights, my person, the land. So what I'm saying is, Uncle Sam, you don't exist here in this situation. Now, I'm not saying that the United States court don't have some duties there. If you and I had a dispute and you lived in Georgia and I lived here, the federal court would have something to do with it. If I had a problem here in Nevada with, say, the state of California, the federal court would have something to do with it. If the Nevada and Utah had a problem, the court would have something to do with it. But I don't fall under any of them situations. I'm a citizen of the state of Nevada. I have no contract with the United States, and they don't have no jurisdiction. So the big question is sovereignty.